Finding rust holes on my Clio.
Hello and welcome back to 8 Valve. Seeing as the big man seems to have abandoned this car, I thought I'd bring you up to speed with what's been going on with Rusty Nago, or more appropriately, my gnome sweet gnome for the last year and a half. Well, after the last Clio video, where the gormless one discovered that there was more holes in it than Eric Bristol's dartboard, he decided to go full tilt, stripping out the interior and removing everything attached underneath to start repairing this petite Gollander. Removing the interior wasn't too difficult for Big Boy, and half a day's work saw the seats, carpet and plastic trims relocated to the garage. Unfortunately, the underside was a far different story. Watching Longshanks struggle to remove the axle was just painful, with him trying to undo nuts that were rusted and painted over countless times. It took forever. But once the seized bolts were extracted and the exhaust and the fuel tank were finally removed, the true extent of this metal catastrophe was revealed, and that's when Lurch decided to do a runner.
Whoa, what in the silent G's going on here?
Oh look, he's finally noticed me. A year and a half of screaming at you to get me out of here, and you not batting an eyelid, and all it took was me hijacking your poxy forsaken joke of a YouTube channel to get you interested again. For shame.
Blimey, who rattled your fishing rod?
Well, if you hadn't have absconded about a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have had to make this video, would I? And I'm a disco gnome, mate, not one of those pond warriors.
Alright, this is all getting a little bit too Roger de Courcy for my liking, so I think I'm just gonna have to... Yoink! It's really awkward talking with gnomes. I'm just not very good at small talk. It's been a while, sorry. Life got in the way and I just had to drop everything and deal with something else that was a bit more important, unfortunately, than YouTube videos. But apologies for being off the screen for so long. But here I am, back in glorious Technicolor, 4K as well. And I thought, what better way to kickstart the videos again by reminding you that I've got this scabby old mess and the fate that has befallen it. You see, I think the last video I did was a two-parter, wasn't it? Just how bad everything is with the rust. That was surface rust. After I filmed those videos, I got cracking with stripping it down, ready for me to start doing all of the welding. Yeah, it went really bad. It's got to the stage, I think. Well, you know what? Before I pass judgment, I'll let you decide what you think, because pictures speak 1,000 words. Oh, right. Okay, so anyway, let's on the other camera now. And yeah, it's as I say, there's meant to be, at some points, there's meant to be 3 layers on here. It's been one of them. That is not the case. Me trying to reinforce this metal here, so this stuff is very thin anyway, plus there's that there, and I've got that. For most of that, there's a lot of chopping to do, especially further down. So yes, outer seal, zero problems with obtaining that outer seal. It's just obviously the ramifications of getting off, or getting the seal off, seeing what half of it's like underneath, which is not good. Yeah, so I did, as you can see, it's empty, so there's no axle, there's no fuel tank, and no exhaust, obviously. So I was pleasantly surprised with, see if I can get a little additional light. Pleasantly surprised with how rust free it was behind the tank, thankfully. Nothing terrible. Let's try and get myself in a little bit without ripping myself to shreds. Pretty echoey actually on there. I must say as well, considering how long it's been since I've actually been under here and done the work that I've done, how little things like spiders and stuff like that, webs and things are. Oh, must have thought it was so skanky here, they just didn't want to know. So yes, obviously here's where the old where the fuel tank was. As I say, not too bad in terms of like structural. Under there, that's okay. The issues obviously came trying to get the axles off, and you can see there's a couple of pictures. I didn't film it because it was horrific. I mean, the worst thing I've ever had to do was try and get those two main bolts off that had been, so the previous owner or owners had I knew we were in trouble because I could see little bits of it. I mean, this is all now rusted over and everything, but again, I'll show you the fresh pictures when they were fresh anyway, of when I cleaned it away. But before that, the picture I'm showing you is what it was like before. So there was all this stone chip stuff, all covered in basically the black tar to hide away everything, and for good reason that they were trying to hide away, because I mean it's bloody horrific. They had covered everything, so they'd also covered the actual axle, like the top parts, the mounting parts, plus the bolts, so that made it more difficult. But just look at what I basically uncovered. So this was right here is where the axle was. So obviously it had started rusting, and someone had done obviously a job of trying to cover it up, or give it a cover plate, which they did. But I mean, just look at it, and the fact that they did it with the axle in place. So this is what they ended up doing. I've not touched this. This is how they welded it all in, and that passed an MOT. That passed an MOT. I'm just saying. So basically, and you know, let's not forget this little humdinger. So it's been steadily rotting away, which a lot of them do, and that's fine. This isn't in that bad a state on the outside, but what they've done here in plate terms wasn't terrible. I mean, unfortunately they couldn't actually get it level, so they just decided to put whatever they wanted there. It doesn't match with the level of the original bottom of the seal, but they've done all of that. That's fine. Then they decided this is completely rotten, so we'll just stick a couple of plates on there and sort of half weld it on. Yeah, that's fine. Just go on, give it a couple of taps, Nigel. That's fine. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Cheers, Dazza. And what you've then got, they then schmooched with as much filler and rust protector and stone chip as possible. I say to fool the MOT here, but that's never fooling anyone at the end of the day. I think it might have been an inside job. Anyway, so what we're left with, once I'd uncovered all of that, scraped it all back as much as I could, was this. So the chassis leg itself, pretty crusty at the back as well, so that's not great. But yes, this would need redoing properly, but obviously what's underneath there is scary, and I really couldn't be bothered to unearth that little gem, purely because you can already see just how terrible it is. So from the factory, what should have happened is this effectively, there's a plate, or part of this would run straight across like a big triangle. So from sort of there, well actually sorry, you can see it there, from this bit here, which is folded down, that would then basically run along like that all the way down, like to about and to there pretty much. And as you can see, we've got little seam welds run across there. There's one there as well, so that's a bit folded in, and all this is covered, this triangle area like here, all that is covered by metal. So obviously, as you can see, that's just, which I think most of them do, they just rot. It's very thin metal and they rotted away. It's also rotted away not only on this plate here, but the first original plate that comes down from the body shell, and even behind that there's a secondary one, ouch, which I can sort of show here, which I'll do that. That gives you a bit better, you can see it a little bit better. There's two that come down from that, plus the seal brings that there, plus the triangular bit, as you can see, I cut this bit off, which would cover that and connect onto there. So there's three different bits, and as you can see, there's, what if I just move that around? As you can see, we were getting what, that's one, that's two, they're both rotten, and the third bit there is rotten as well. So there's three bits of welding to do. Even if you doubled up, even if you got rid of all of this and then just doubled up on there, that's just too much. Plus the fact that, as well as the fact that the cover triangle has gone, this is actually the chassis leg. So what you're seeing here, obviously this is the internalised part of the chassis leg. So this has gone as well. So this has to be made up before a plate goes over there, before two plates go inside there for this third plate to obviously cover over, and then you've got the seal on the outside to do. I'm not being funny, but that's a hell of a lot of stuff to do for me. Other people, braver people, people with time on their hands can do that. I just can't. I haven't got the time. I haven't got the time, I haven't got the expertise, but I haven't got the time to do it. Which is, you know, pretty crap all said and done. But, there's not a lot I can do about it. Just going quickly over here, on the driver's side. So, you know, scraping that back, not too bad at all, to be honest, considering there is a little bit, that's it. So this is a screw for, now what was that? That was part of the, obviously the fuel system. As it runs down, there's a few bits it sort of connects onto, sort of return pipes and two pipes. This is rotted, so actually it's rotted inside in the boot a little bit, so that needs to be done. Not terrible. Again, not terrible around here. Not great, but I mean, it's just a bit crusty. It's nothing major around these bits here. It's just this, and I'll get out of the way a little bit so that you can see what's going on. But from, I remember what it was like on the outside with the with the sort of the holes and the, you know, the rust that's going. Well, this is the inside of it, and as you can see, there's 3 layers going on here. There'll be lots of people probably shouting, yeah, it's not a problem, just make it one thick whole unit, you know, you can chop into that, that's fine. Yeah, okay. This was MOT'd at some point, and I needed to know just how bad it was, because this whole area had basically gone. So I, as I sort of just mentioned earlier, I actually cut this triangular piece out. So as you can see, these are all the sort of spot welded areas that I tried to get it off, because it was so rotten. And I'll go and get the piece that I took off, but it was so rotten, I just needed to, I thought, you know what, I'll just recreate it, it's not a problem at all. But what's more of the problem is all of this. This is, as I say, that's one layer, that's the other layer. You've got obviously you'll have this going around here and making up, so got to make up a brand new inner seal part. This has all got to be sort of cut out and redone. This is someone else's fabrication, so that's got to be cut out. This is someone else's fabrication, that's got to be cut out. You've got to get back to the original lines of it. All this has got to be taken back and treated, because it is rotten. Well, some of it is rotten, and the same problem. This is the actual chassis leg. This is nothing to do with that outer skin there. And that's gone again. So all that would have to be redone. As you can see, it is more than just a little bit of a job. And with gas this welder upside down with an absolute noob, which is me, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm really sad about it, to be honest. I'm pretty gutted. I mean, I can't even be bothered to actually show you the delights of the front. I mean, on the previous videos you saw how bad it was. Nothing's changed. If not, it's got a bit worse, basically. Yeah, I've found a few little extra bits, but on the whole, it's just the fact that it would need complete seals, almost complete inner seals. I think you can just about get away with the middle parts. They're not that rusty, but if you've opened the whole thing up to change, you're going to end up probably putting new metal in virtually all the way down. I've got to deal with the front corners. I've got to deal with the sort of chassis leg reinforcers that go to the almost to the inner parts. Yeah, the inner parts of the inner seals. I'm getting confused now. And then you've got all of the inner wings to do. And hello, Pussycat. Tippy cat there. Got all of the inner wings to do. You can buy inner wings, but chopping out everything to put new inner wings in. So yeah, basically at that point now where it's like, I had to say no. Right, yeah. So this is the driver's side. That, as I was talking about, that triangular piece. When I got it off, I flattened it out because I was gonna do a template and everything else. But this, effectively, just see that as it lying like that. And that just sort of tells you all you need to know, really. Yes, this can be made. Obviously, holes can be remade, that can be spot welded back in. but there is just so much stuff to do. It's too much stuff to do. Obviously that's not too bad. These have got to be completely redone. So that's got to be redone. Yeah, this is these were the bolts I ended up having to completely just chop off because they were just completely and utterly roosted inside. Yeah, there's only one. The only bit I could find, I think I showed it on the outside on the other videos there. That's the only bit I can find internally that's gone. That side was actually pretty good. It hadn't gone through like that into the body. None of that had gone. But yeah, unfortunately, too far gone. There we go. This is pretty much the end of the video because, well, I mean, what else is there to show you other than more rust? Rust. So, what do you think? Is it insurmountable? Is it one of these ones that's like, you know, chuck it away, don't bother? I know plenty of people on the last videos have said get rid, and you know what? I mean, yeah, in hindsight, you're totally right. You're totally right. But I needed to confirm that by taking off the axle, by getting stuck in underneath, just to see just how bad like the carnage was with it. And as you've now seen, it's beyond my scope. It's obviously not something that I can do. For trained professionals, cool, crack on if you want, you know, look up whatever the nearest scrapyard is to where I am in Kent and you might find it. But for me, unfortunately, rusting the coal is going to be a no more. But bits of rusting the coal are going to survive, and they're going to survive because, excitingly, I've got another car. And I'm very excited with this one, very excited, partly because there's no rust involved. So yeah, I'm very, very excited, and bits and bobs from rusting the coal are going to work their way over, so stay tuned. And stay tuned anyway, because obviously, you know, I'm really sorry it's just taken me so long to put another video out, but just family stuff, things behind the scenes that have just not been very good and not conducive to me fighting around with cars and videoing it. So I can only apologise for the absence, but I'm back again. And yeah, you're going to see lots more stuff. You're going to see this new car that I've got. Which is just super awesome. You're going to see the completed XM. I've had that on the road now for a year and a quarter, nearly a year and a half. So I'll do a nice sort of finale video on that. And Focus is still around, the oldest Focus in the UK. It's going to get a complete suspension refresh. Stage 1. Which I'm very excited about. Bilstein stuff and iBuck, yeah, lowering springs. Not crazy lowering, I think it's about 30mm tops. It's just, I've always thought it looks like an off-roader on, you know, factory height. So that just needs a little, but yeah, all that's to come. So yeah, hope you're gonna look forward to seeing that. Anyway, from me and from Rust in Pieces Nicole, it's farewell, and see you soon. Right, let's get you down the scrap yard.